Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and I just want to start off by saying Sony is never without a complete plethora of bad ideas, and it's only been made worse in recent years. They've gotten lucky on a couple things, but let's be fair. Ghostbusters, failure. The Dark Tower, failure. The fact that Sony itself wrote down $986 million in losses in 2016 shows you that the movie studio has just not had a win or as many wins as it needs. Now, last summer they had Baby Driver, which was a $30 million film that did moderately well. And this is summer 2017, not 2018. They got lucky with Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle pulling in an astronomical amount of money. And also Spider-Man kind of kept them in the black. But lately, they outside of Spider-Man Homecoming or Far From Home, they don't really have a lot going on for it that I think a lot of people are truly interested in outside of maybe the next Jumanji movie, which could or could not do well. So Sony likes to go back to the drawing board, obviously, right? I'm sorry, I do want to point out Into the Spider-Verse comes out next week, and that should be pretty good if the early reviews are any indication. So anyway, but Sony likes to also go back to the drawing board as often as they possibly can because, you know, again, originality in Hollywood is... So what we're seeing now, at least what we're hearing now, is a possibility of a 21 Jump Street reboot, this time starring Tiffany Haddish and Awkwafina. Now, I'm just going to be bluntly honest here. Neither one of these women are funny. They're not funny. Tiffany Haddish tries so hard. She can be endearing in some scenes, in some bits, but she tries so hard to play that role, and that role is what she's been typecast as, and when she's not typecast as that, the movies end up really going nowhere. It's one of those things where it's like she's kind of a one-trick pony that's riding out her 15 minutes, and then it's going to be over. And same thing with Awkwafina. Awkwafina coming off of Ocean's 8, which didn't do very well, and Crazy Rich Asians, which she wasn't even a main character of, just a supporting cast, which did well here domestically, but in China, it crashed and burned. You know, it's just, she doesn't have the pull. But Hollywood right now very much wants to play up certain things, and that's fine. Hollywood always likes to try new things out, except they're not trying anything new. They're just rebooting it with different people. So, oh, it's an all-female reboot of 21 Jump Street. Okay. Right? Okay, sure. We had 21 Jump Street in 2012, so 6 years ago, almost 7 because it came out in March 2012. And then we had 22 Jump Street 4 years ago in June of 2014. And a lot of people out there really wanted to see 23 Jump Street. In fact, there was a rumored 23 Jump Street meets Men in Black's crossover thing. But now we're just getting Men in Black International, which is the name of that movie. But anyway, let's go and take a look at the story here. So it says Tiffany Haddish is one of the hottest names in comedy at the moment, and multiple sources have told Collider that the Girls Trip star is in talks for one of the leads of Sony's female-driven reboot of 21 Jump Street. Rodney Rothman, who wrote 22 Jump Street, is writing and directing the film, while Phil Lord and Chris Miller are expected to return as producers. Now, we know what you're thinking. At 39 years old, isn't Haddish a little old to be playing an undercover cop infiltrating a high school? Well, yes, if she was playing a student. But Collider hears that Haddish is going to be playing a teacher this time around, possibly posing as the mother of a new student, a fellow undercover cop. As far as that role goes, multiple sources say that Awkwafina is at the top of Sony's list, and for months I've heard that executives over there are big fans of the Crazy Rich Asians actress, who has been considered for a supporting role in Sony's Jumanji sequel. So what we can see right now is that there's been a buildup. You know, like she's got, again, star power is rising. Everyone wants to jump, wants to get her in, wants to, you know, clamor her up, right? Scoop her up, everything else. If I could actually speak today. So that's what they want, and I get that, fine. But again, I don't think fans out there are going to, if Ghostbusters is any indication of how not to do something, I don't think Sony going like, you know what, no one's going to give a shit if we reboot 21 Jump Street. Actually, I think a lot of people out there will care if they reboot 21 Jump Street. The movie in 2012 was funny. It was very, very, very funny. The sequel in 2014 was funnier in many respects. It was still a good movie with good characters, good character development, and just all around good casting. People liked it. People wanted to see more from it. Take a look here. This is the box office mojo report for 21 Jump Street with a $42 million production budget. It grossed a total worldwide take home of $201 million, right? $201 million for just, for that movie. That's not bad for 2012. That's not bad for 2012. That's not bad for a comedy coming out in March, an R-rated comedy coming out in March, right? Now, take a look here at 22 Jump Street. $50 million production budget, a total worldwide take-home of $331 million. That is $129 million more than the first movie made. Now, oftentimes when you look at movies and you have a sequel, the idea there is that it does better than the first movie. In many cases, it does. In some cases, it doesn't. But they still kind of look at that as a metric for success. Now, granted, the way that they ended 22 Jump Street, they probably couldn't do 23 Jump Street because all the sequels they showed at the end were all considered canon by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. But obviously, you know, that could easily be switched up and joked around and whatnot. But going and bringing in a 21 Jump Street where you've got mid-20s Awkwafina going back to high school and her mother is going to be Tiffany Haddish. It's you can kind of see the jokes that they're going to write for that. You can kind of see the stereotypes they're going to play up. But if you want my honest opinion about Awkwafina, go watch her on SNL recently. It was a bad episode. Maybe she just doesn't do well in live scripted comedy, but even go and watch her on Future Man. Just being one of the clerks at a video game store that they go to. And it's just not funny. She's kind of a one-note character. Same goes with Tiffany Haddish. These are actresses that I'm just being honest here, I don't see as star material. I don't see as leading the movie material. Like, I can even put that to myself. If I were ever going to go into acting, I would never be leading role material. I would always end up being the supporting cast. Some people are, are A-list actors. Some people sit in the background and collect a paycheck. I'm clearly one of the people that would sit in the back and collect a paycheck. So I get that. I get that. I'm just saying it's like, I think Hollywood is trying too hard. I think they're trying too hard to push this agenda. And when they push this agenda too hard, and this is Sony, so you know that they will, it's going to crash and burn the movie. It's going to have negative connotations going in. It's going to have a negative reception. And when that happens, Sony is going to sit there and point the finger at the audience going like, you racist, bigoted, misogynistic bastards. You didn't go see this movie. You didn't go see Ghostbusters. You hate women. And you know that because we've already seen it. This is the Sony playbook. Melissa McCarthy, 2 years on, is still attacking critics of Ghostbusters because she thinks that they just hate women because it's such an easy defense to have. Right now, listen, I will be honest to God fair here. I don't know if this movie will be good, if it will not be good, or if this will even happen. We have no idea. Okay, Rodney Rothman did a good job on the script for 22 Jump Street. My Name is Jeff is still quotable 4 years later. The movie is still very funny. People still wear Suns Out, Guns Out t-shirts. I've seen them around. It's a good film. So if he can take that and bring that into what, to kind of reboot it, maybe fine. But it's going to have cameo appearances from Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. It's going to have that connection. All right. Don't reboot it or whatever. Don't make it a fresh reboot. Tie it into the larger universe. Keep Ice Cube as the chief. Keep the Korean Jesus. Keep all that stuff. Keep the humor the same. Keep it in the same continuity. And people will probably be a little bit more receptive to it. If it's just going to be a straight reboot, no one wants it. But if you're going to tie it into the larger world and make it a larger thing, then by all means, give it a shot. Because it could have success, but you're going to have to play it a certain way. If not, it's game over already. Anyway, these are just my thoughts on this one. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you like Tiffany Haddish? Do you like Awkwafina? Am I just an asshole for not liking them? These are things I'm curious to know, so go ahead and write them down. If you made it this far, type in Jump Street into the chat so I know. If you guys want to leave your thoughts for the call-in, you can do so at 818-350-3281. That's 818-350-3281. Don't worry, I've got a bunch of messages so far. I'm going to get to them this weekend. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out.